Next, we will move on to the balance sheet. So you see Big Rock Candy Mountain's balance sheets for years 2015 and 2016. And the first thing you'll have to check out when you see a balance sheet would be to balance the amount of total assets and total liabilities and owner's equity. But unfortunately, you see both lines are remaining as blank. So what it means is that you'll have to figure out or calculate the amount from the above items. So let's see whether we can calculate total assets first. And if you think about total assets, it's the sum of total current assets and also the total fixed assets amount, which is the net amount after taking out depreciation from gross fixed assets. But again, net plant and equipment, that amount we don't know yet either. Now, what about year 2015? Again, to figure out total assets, we have to sum total current assets and net plant and equipment, but the total current assets amount is unknown. So it means that we cannot figure it out by just taking a look at the asset items. So why don't we just go below and try to figure it out by taking a look at the right-hand side. So total liability and owner's equity, that should be the sum of total liabilities and total owner's equity, right? But here, of course, these are supposed to be known. So for year 2016, we can easily calculate it by adding the total liabilities amount and total owner's equity amount. There you go. You have the total liabilities and owner's equity part. And the same thing here. So it should be the sum of the same items, and you'll have total liabilities and owner's equity, right? So you have the same amount. You should have the same amount for total assets, right? To have your balance sheets balance out. So let's try to copy the amount here and paste it over the total assets amount. And what do you find? The numbers are not the same, right? Why does it happen? Because what your Excel does is it automatically copies and pastes not the numbers, but the formulas. That's the default function. So if you wanted to change it, what you would have to do is you click this drop down icon and you'll see all these options you have. And what you want to paste is not the formulas, but the values, right? So you will have to just choose one from here, one of the three icons. Why don't you choose the very left one, which says value, so the board and the number. Click it, and now you see that the numbers have changed it, and they are equal values. Now that we have all the balances for total assets and total liabilities and owner's equity sections, we actually can figure out the individual items that are missing in these balance sheets. So why don't we try the first one here. So if you think about all these missing variables or missing items, they can be calculated either going top down or bottom up. The best example would be this net plant and equipment value. So you can go, it's probably easier to go just straightforward by taking out accumulated depreciation from fixed assets. So how do you do that? This would be gross fixed assets minus depreciation. That should be equal to net plant equipment, right? So that was 309,980. And are we getting the same value if it did take a different approach? So let's see whether we get the same value by subtracting current assets from total assets. So total assets minus the total current assets. That would give you exactly the same value. So let's just leave it that way and move on to total current assets. So here, total current assets, this will be the sum of all the subcategory items, but as accounts receivable amount that is missing, it's probably better to just calculate it by total assets minus total fixed assets amount, which is net plant and equipment, all right? Then you will have total current assets amount calculated, right? And then going to the top to figure out this individual item, which would be uh, total current assets minus all these other colleagues of his, cash minus marketable securities minus inventory, and that will be the accounts receivable amount. Okay, so you have filled out on the asset side of the balance sheet, and let's move on to liabilities and owner's equity, the right hand side. Okay, and we just have two missing variables here. One is accrued expenses and the other is total current liabilities. And if you think about accrued expenses, their sum, the sum of these two items should be equal to total current liabilities, right? So this is easily calculated, really straightforward. Total current liabilities minus accounts payable, and that should be equal to the accrued expenses. And what about total current liabilities? You could take actually two approaches. One would be just the sum of these two items. Then you will have 35,440. Or maybe another approach, which would be just the difference between total liabilities and long-term liabilities. And you have 35,440, which is just equal to what we saw before. So you have completed the balance sheet.